You really liked it, didn't you, pal? It's nice if you called and tell me. No, that's okay. I hadn't gone to bed yet. Thanks a lot. Why, sure. Oh, anytime. I'm generally home. Thanks again. Good night. Bryant?
Mr. Bryant.
How are you, Mr. Bryant?
You still don't know me, do you? Colonel Bryant, the Illusions.
Duluth, Minnesota.
That's right.
Well, if it ain't old Duluth, it had to be an old fan. I'm glad to see you. Come on out and meet the family. They'll love you. See, they're fans of mine, too. And, brother, how many members of that club still around? Meet Colonel Bryant. My wife, Mrs. Jolson.
How do you do?
How do you do?
My father, Steve Martin.
Glad to know you. How are you, sir? Glad to know you, sir.
How do you do? This is a fellow who phones in the middle of the night to tell me I'm terrific. Don't you love him?
Mad about it.
See? Old home week. Sit down. Stay for lunch with us, will you?
Oh, thanks. I'd like to.
Oh, honey, you want him to stay for dinner, too, because up in the Illusions, if it hadn't been for the pat on the back this fella gave me, I was worried and scared stiff, picked me right up off the floor.
In fact, you can bring your clothes and move in, Colonel Bryant.
Oh, let's forget the Colonel. I'm just a picture producer again.
Oh, I didn't tell you that. Came from Hollywood all the time. How's it feel to be back making movies?
Well, they're always tough, except when you get a really exciting idea. And I got one last night listening to you.
Yeah?
I didn't sleep much. This morning I was still at it, so I thought I'd come over and talk to you about it.
Well, what's that?
Motion picture.
You mean you want me to play a part or something? Me?
No, a picture about you. Your whole career. Sound crazy?
My friend, as goofy as can be.
Why?
Why? Well, last night should tell you why.
Last night brought me out here.
Yeah, you, pal, and a few hundred others, but you make pictures today for a whole new generation. They buy the tickets. What's in this one for them?
Story of the biggest man in entertainment for 30 years, singing the biggest songs.
That are deader than a doornail.
Not when you sing them.
Amazing fella. Don't you love him? Oh, you would. Look, pal, I'm gonna forget you ever mentioned an idea like this, cause if it ever got out, you'd have the whole town laughing at you.
That's the best thing this town does.
Just begging for trouble, aren't you?
Give me some reasons.
He wants reasons.
That's only fair. Give him some.
Reasons. Look, I was singing in vaudeville at 15. Well, let's say when I was really getting underway in my 20s. You expect me to play a 20-year-old on the screen today?
I know. That one I wrestled with last night, but suppose somebody else played it.
Somebody else? But me sing, of course.
Of course.
You mean put the songs through him like he was singing?
I know. A lot of the kick is how you put the songs over.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I've seen 1,000 guys imitate me. Good, too, but this would be my stuff coming out of his mouth on the screen, just like I sang it.
I think it could be done.
Okay, pal. Let's say we found the guy and he's great, but look, the songs. Couldn't use the old recordings I made years ago. Is that right?
I'm afraid it is. The sound quality of those old recordings would be pretty bad today.
So, I'd have to sing them all over again, huh?
I guess you'd have to.
Just like I sang them back on Broadway, where your picture's gonna show how I used to knock 'em dead.
I happen to think you can.
Oh, brother, I know I'm better than I was in Duluth 20 years ago. All that's happened since, not hitting very well on one cylinder and sing 4 keys lower.
Nobody would have known that last night.
Because that was Sonny Boy.
Why not anything else?
Anything else? Anything else, pal? Those mammies, those rockabys, you gotta give out.
And you think you couldn't do that?
Think I couldn't do it.
Have you tried?
No, he hasn't.
Then why don't you? Why not come into the studio and make a recording or two? When could you do that?
What do I say to this madman?
Why, that you're free almost any time.
What's the matter? Butterflies. Like opening night on Broadway. Come on.
Let's have playback voice and orchestra.
Let me out of here. I'd rather spend a year in solitary. How can a man sing with the orchestra in Honolulu?
You look great. Now we'll hear it.
Say, look, maybe we ought to skip the whole thing.
Now we'll see.
I think you're going to like it.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and got up. Tut-tut-tut, say goodbye. Tut-tut-tut, say don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me to the end, then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Don't cry, Tootie, don't cry. Goodbye, Tootie, goodbye.
What's all the mystery, Rob? What are we going to see?
I told you, a little experiment, that's all.
What's it got to do with me?
That's what we're going to find out. Okay, Bill, let's go.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and got up. Tut-tut-tut, say goodbye. Tut-tut-tut.
What's going on here? Who is that?
The choo-choo train that takes me.
That's a recording I made.
Of course it is.
But who's the guy that...
Kiss me to the end, then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Don't cry, Tootie, don't cry. Goodbye, Tootie, goodbye.
Wonderful. Who was that?
Meet a young fellow named Larry Parks.
Let's agree on one thing at the start, boys. I don't think anybody cares about the facts of my life, about dates and places. I'll give you a mess up. You juggle them any way you like. What matters is the singing a man did and the difference that made. I can tell as a kid who ran away from home when he was 15 because he was crazy to sing. Never stopped once of all the years of show business, singing thousands of songs. A guy who ate, drank, and slept, nothing else. And when you get to Julie Benson, that's important. Because then you find out it's really the story of a wrong guy who only cared about being a big hit and always leading the parade. We thought he was crazy about her. When she walked out, though, if you ask him today, when she left, it was just his pride that was kicked around, because in those days, he really couldn't think of anything but himself. He had to get tossed on the shelf and take a beating before he began to learn there might be something else in the world. You know, I'm scared of this picture. If it ever went over, I might get wound up like the old Jolson again. I'd like to call the whole thing off.
You would?
Yeah, but my wife won't let me. Well, we're